Work-life balance in the remote era, managing boundaries when your office is your living room and your coffee table doubles as your conference desk. To unpack this, I'm joined by two brilliant guests. First, we have Julie, a workplace psychologist who helps professionals manage stress and focus in hybrid settings. And David, a remote work consultant who's coached organizations on building healthier, more productive virtual teams. Welcome, both of you.
Thanks, Jacob. This topic couldn't be more relevant. Remote work has redefined what going to the office means. But with that freedom comes a blur, where work hours bleed into personal time.
Absolutely. I often say your home office setup might be smart, but your boundaries have to be smarter. People assume remote work equals balance, but actually it takes discipline to create balance, not just flexibility.
So true. It's funny, we traded commutes for convenience, yet somehow many of us work longer hours than ever before.
Exactly. You may have saved gas money, but you're now commuting from your bed to your laptop every single morning.
Let's be real. Working from home sounds perfect until your boss calls during dinner or your pet decides to join the Zoom meeting.
I've had cats walk across keyboards mid-presentation, but on a serious note, the constant access, emails, chats, notifications creates a sense of always on. Without physical separation, it's easy to forget where work ends and life begins.
Exactly. And psychologically, the brain needs clear transitions, rituals that signal work is done. When those cues disappear, burnout sneaks in faster.
That's powerful. It's not just about schedules, it's about mental space. So how do we rebuild those boundaries? What works?
Start with structure. Set a fixed start and end time and honor it. Physically separate your workspace, even if it's just a dedicated corner, and take breaks that mimic stepping out. Walk, stretch, breathe.
I'll add, communicate boundaries clearly. Let your team know your offline hours and respect theirs too. Also, manage notifications. If every ping pulls your attention, you're not working, you're reacting.
That's gold, David. The constant ping is like digital caffeine, energizing at first, then exhausting later.
Exactly. The irony is people think multitasking makes them efficient, but it actually drains focus.
Let's shift gears. What about the human connection we lose when working remotely? Is that also part of the balance equation?
Absolutely. Humans thrive on social interaction. When that's missing, isolation sets in. It's not just loneliness, it affects motivation and creativity.
That's why I tell teams schedule connection time intentionally. Virtual coffee chats, casual check-ins, or even quick voice notes, they help rebuild that human touch.
I like that. Intentional connection. You can't replicate office banter perfectly, but you can recreate belonging.
Here are some quick wins anyone can start today. Create a shutdown ritual. Close your laptop, say, "I'm done," or light a candle. Dress the part. Changing clothes helps your brain switch modes. Plan me time like meetings. Schedule it. Don't postpone it.
And I'd say, experiment. Work-life balance isn't a fixed rule book. Some people thrive with early hours. Others prefer evening deep work. Find what fits you, not what fits a trend.
Perfectly said. The remote era gave us freedom. Now it's on us to use it wisely. Julie, David, thank you for this insightful discussion. We've learned that remote work isn't the problem, it's how we manage it. The balance between work and life isn't about time, it's about attention.
Exactly, Jacob. Control your focus and you control your peace.
And remember, the best home office setup isn't your desk, it's your discipline. Well said. Thank you for joining us on the Tech and Life Balance podcast. Until next time, stay productive, stay human, and keep your balance intact.